this year? What do we expect? We've looked at some sectors, and we're focusing on another one again today, and that will be the elections. Mike Igini joins us today. He is the Resident Electoral Commissioner for Cross River State. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Chambali, Sulai, and Marco, it's my pleasure to be here, and good morning, Nigerians.
Well, yes, indeed. Let's start off this way. I mean, during that Anambra governorship elections, I mean, there were lots and lots of reactions. INEC itself also admitted something's going wrong. It was, do I say unexpected, because you had been here before that time. We had spoken about what do we expect with the Anambra elections, especially after the elections in Imo. INEC was said to be ready. You were going to put in place some test cases. You were ready for anyone who was going to do anything, but at last the elections came. So many failures on the part of INEC. And now we have politicians who have said, look, with this forthcoming Ekiti and Osun elections, we are not sure that INEC can do a good job for 2015.
Well, thank you very much, Chamberlain. I would like to make some very quick preliminary remarks to underscore our subsequent engagement today. First, all over the world, in places that we all know, the outcome of election is a reflection of the commitment of its people to what they believe should be the ideal thing.
That's the people who are conducting the elections?
Both, and a commitment of the nation. Election day is a period to determine the commitments of all institutions, INEC, and all other relevant stakeholders, particularly the political parties, stakeholders, politicians, in getting the kind of election that the country deserved. We have been to other parts of the world. You have your observers everywhere. You will find that whether you are talking about the US, in the UK, in Kenya, in Ghana, and other parts of the world, you will find that the outcome of election is clearly a collective responsibility, in the sense that first and foremost, before I will answer the question you just raised, which are very weighty, is that most elections, on the day of election, you find that the actual people you call the umpire, staff of the EMBs, anywhere in the world, they are usually very few. In Nigeria, for instance, the whole of INEC nationwide, you have a total of about 12,000 staff. When you want to conduct election, by the time you remove auxiliary staff, cleaners, security, you barely have about 6,000 to be involved in a national election. Prior to the last election, in the registration, we deployed a total of 300,000 persons for this election, for the registration process. For the election itself, we deploy a total of 400,000 people.
That's national election.
Nationally. But what is staff strength of INEC? About 12,000, and you can only actually deploy about less than 6,000 involved. Which means, in fact and indeed, that the success, the outcome, our desire is largely in the hands of the other members of the society brought into the system for the conduct of election on that day. This is the practice everywhere. Now, because election is one of the most complex, a very high activities operation that any nation or state could embark on in peacetime. In Nigeria, we all recall, because we must look at where we are coming from, look at where we are as we set concrete agenda for 2015. Before this new leadership, you will recall that as a people and as a nation, truly, empirically, as data I'm going to give to you today will show that we have made improvements, as said by both local and international after the 2011 election, that the 2011 elections were a remarkable departure from the previous one.
Yeah,
though we are not where we are supposed to, where we think we should be.
What becomes of that improvement in the light of this election? Because don't forget, you had 6 national commissioners and 15 resident electoral commissioners in Anambra.
Very good. I'm coming to that. But this fundamental remarks, this must be given so that we can understand where we are coming from. Now, if you look at the various elections I've mentioned to you, you will find that from 2011, if you check the statistics of total election petition, for instance, filed after elections, in 2003, well over almost 1,000 election petitions were filed. In 2007, which NDI, the European Union, and the ECOWAS described as the lowest point of electoral discredit of our nation, we had a total of 1,721 petitions.
That's for the general elections.
Yes, I'm talking about 2003 and 2007. But in 2011, after the election, in the entire country, the total number of petitions filed was just 724. 724. Look at the drop. Now, if you are to use Anambra for instance, and I'm going to tell you a whole lot of things
but already we
that were put in place in Anambra
for that one singular election, we
yes.
had 2 petitions.
Good.
So look at that percentage.
No, just hold on. Anambra has a record, and painfully, Anambra is supposed to be the intellectual warehouse, the intellectual powerhouse of the whole of that part of our country, because that's where we have the likes of Zik, Chinua Achebe, Emeka Anyaku, Ojukwu, some of the greatest and finest men that we have produced in this country. Anambra in 2007, in the entire country, and you state by state, Anambra recorded a total of 145 election petition cases, the highest in the entire country. In 2011, under the current leadership, so that we know where we are coming from, Anambra, again, top the league in the entire country, recorded 68 election petitions. 68, a drop from the whole 154. Now, in Anambra, for instance, and I want to say this here generally, the focus of my engagement is to let the world know the entire templates that have been put in place for the entire country, and not just only Anambra. In Anambra, please, it should be noted, you see, since we came on board, we promised the Nigerian people that, as the chairman has over and again restated, that under his leadership, under his watch, with some of us working in the system, that the will of the people shall govern, and in line with our oath under the 7th schedule of the Constitution, we have kept faith to that. And so in Anambra, to key on the fundamentals there, let it be known, because the issues that are relevant in the election are voter register, and I will address all the issues that have been raised.
But you haven't acknowledged the delayed success with that elections.
Delayed success. Yeah. That is what I'm going to right now. In Anambra State, it should be noted that I have listened to so many people, and I must say this: I could, listen to the refreshing sound of genuine concern of Nigerians that they want to see more. In Anambra State, for instance, prior to the election, The key to any successful election is the voters register. As a country, as a people, collectively, what was done by Bangladesh in 2 years, we did it in 3 weeks.
In Anambra?
That is for the nature of biometrics registration, talking about the voter register. Because where we are now, we are not in the stage of where we have like a Tyson and foreigners on the list now. What we are now having is that we are having more of our names, you know, people replicating.
Some say their names in
right? In the course, go just hold on. In Anambra State, the register, you've heard about addendum. What's an addendum register, and what is the main register? In 2011, after the registration, office was carried out, and when you carry out an office, you are going to have 3 types of register. You have what you call the valid register, and that is the one that shows that your entire biometric, your 10 fingerprints are in, your picture properly captured.
It was few states did that after.
Now with that, you can go for election, because the principle of the biometric process is one person, one vote. Now you have what's called the invalid register. The invalid register contains the names of people who have incomplete biometric data. You cannot use that. Then you now have the AFIS. The AFIS gives you a graphic picture of people who have done multiple registrations in various places. Now at the time of consolidation, for the purpose of AFIS, these 3 things will show. Now when that was done, and this was what happened as at that time,
for the few states,
this is the DCC machine. Then you have as a backup what you call the hard register, the what you call the addendum. Now as you are registering here, this what you register here, your name is written down. In the event that there is a crash and you are unable to retrieve whatever that's here, you have what you call a hard copy of that. Now when we were through and we were close to the election, the idea was, okay, what do? We have isolated cases of people who were not on the valid register. We said, okay, you print them out, because what is here, anybody who's already here can also, who already has been here on the valid printed electronic register will also not be there, because we also have the printed electronic version side by side. So we printed in various parts of the, even in my state, we had a few of that.